God tells Avram that he's going to destroy the wicked inhabitants of the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah and the surrounding cities. And Avram immediately goes to work. He starts praying to God, pleading with him, begging him, God, are you going to destroy the righteous along with the wicked? Suppose there are 50 righteous people there. Will you save the cities? God says, okay. What if there are 45? All right. 40? Yes. 30? Okay. 20? Yes. How about 10? Will you save them if there are only 10 righteous people? And God says yes. But apparently there aren't 10 righteous people. And so these cities are going to be destroyed. And they were destroyed, or at least 4 out of 5 were eventually destroyed. And so we're told that God left and Avram went back to his place. Why do we need to be told that? God left, conversation's over. Obviously, Avram went back to wherever he was going. So one commentator says that passage shows us Avram's greatness. He tried, conversation was over, God left, and Avram accepted the decree, which is what we all have to do after we pray. Whatever God decides, we have to accept the decree. But what if I asked you, for whom was Avram praying? You'd say to me, he was praying for the wicked people of Sodom. And you'd be partially right. There's more to it than that, because Avram had a nephew, Lot, his wife's brother, so also Avram's brother-in-law. Lot was living in Sodom. So when Avram was praying, he was also praying for his brother-in-law and his brother-in-law's wife and their daughters. This was personal to Avraham. And after he finished his prayers and God left, as far as he knew, it was over for them. God didn't say to him, oh, by the way, I know you're probably worried about your nephew and his family. I'm sending a second angel to rescue Lot and to give his family members the opportunity to leave. He didn't know that. And yet he accepted God's decree. Now, right now, given what's going on in Israel and around the world, we've got to pray. Whatever God's going to decide, we're going to accept his decree, but we've got to pray, we've got to beg, we've got to plead. So how do we focus our prayers? I went to shul the Shabbos after the initial attacks, and the rabbi asked the following questions to the congregation. How many people lost a loved one last week? Nobody raised their hand. He said, how many people have a loved one who was taken captive? Nobody raised their hand. He said, how many people have a loved one who's in the army about to go to war? A few people raised their hands. He said, you know what the problem is? I hate to say it. The problem is that every single person in shul should have raised their hand to all 3 questions. Because when we pray, we say, Achenu kol beis Yisrael. All Jews are brothers and sisters. So when we pray, we have to imagine that that captive is our brother, that that soldier is our sister, our son, our daughter. We have to feel that we lost a loved one when we're praying to comfort the mourners. And when we're praying for the people who are wounded, we have to pray as if we have a loved one, because we do, who is wounded. That will focus our prayers. Like Avram when he was praying. Whatever God's decree is going to be, we're going to accept it, but we have to pray and pray and pray that those mourners get comforted, that the captives are returned safely, that the wounded heal, and that every single soldier is protected and is successful. They need our prayers, and it's personal for us.